Hey, hi, welcome everybody. We're here today with Katie Stone, Harvard's head hockey coach for women's hockey, and Ted Donato, Harvard's head hockey coach for men's hockey. With the Ivy League decision not to compete, could you talk a little bit about what your student athletes have been doing um, remotely to work on their game?
It has been a challenging year for everyone, but I would say our kids have handled it tremendously. We kind of got ahead of anticipating that we might not be playing some hockey in this past season, and so our kids extended internships and found jobs and worked on different projects, and they've been extremely busy. I think one of the things that has been a challenge for them has been the training piece because depending on where they are in North America or Japan, sometimes those facilities have been closed pretty consistently, or certain regions in lockdown and so forth. And so trying to sift through some of that has been difficult. But they've spent some time when they could getting out there on the ponds in the winter, and we've sort of tried to frame this as a extended summer, and so that they know that there's an end to this, and it's been probably more extended than we anticipated, but it's been, I think it's also been, and if you're looking at silver linings, an opportunity for our kids to do some things that they typically wouldn't be able to do. And one of them is we had a lot of kids who needed some surgery, and that they probably would not have gone and gotten in the midst of their 4-year college career. They would have dealt with a nagging injury. And so we've had a lot of kids who've taken care of that, rehabbed really well. So we're excited about the future.
I would echo Katie in the sense that it certainly has been a challenge for us, and we have a bunch of student athletes in different scenarios. So we have a good chunk of our younger freshman and sophomore players that are playing, in the Midwest in the United States Junior Hockey League, which is functioning right now. So we have, I think, 2 guys in Fargo and 2 guys in Waterloo, and one guy in Dubuque, and I think 4 guys in Chicago. So those guys are fortunate because they at least can play hockey during these challenging times. We also have a group of kids that had an opportunity to go down to Florida in Tampa and train together and skate, kind of inside their own little bubble, and that's worked out pretty well. I think they've made the best of a challenging situation.
Ted, let me stay with you for this next question. And as both you and Katie mentioned, it appears that our student athletes are doing a lot of things individually to stay on top of their games, but then also taking advantage of internships and other academic opportunities. How are you as a coach staying connected with the student athletes since you're not in a physical presence with them?
Yeah, so for me, during the first semester, we were probably in touch even more so because we had hopes that we would be starting up, and there was a lot of news constantly, being shared as to any updates and that kind of stuff. And as soon as the second semester athletically was canceled, we basically moved to much more of, as Katie would say, almost an extended summer. So guys are training, they're in class, and we're just trying to stay in touch. So so the guys out in the Midwest, it's following their progress, watching their games, texting them when they have a nice night, and then for some of the guys in Florida, just kind of staying in touch.
Katie, how have you and your assistant coaches been able to stay in contact with your players remotely?
Well, similar to Ted, it's a challenge because there's certain things we can and can't do, and one of the benefits of modern technology is that app GroupMe, and so we spend a fair amount of time on that, which reaches everyone in our program, and we have kids in different time zones, so every once in a while that's a bit of a challenge. But just mostly connecting with small groups of people or captains, and they have been amazing, being in touch with everyone, and kids that are going to be coming to campus for the first time this fall that have been admitted, and like freshmen that were supposed to be here this past season. And we've done a little bit of that with the coaching staff, but we also are sort of platooning ourselves individually to make sure that we touch all our bases. And the kids are great about getting back to us if they need something or have a question. And we've also been able to touch base with the kids' parents a little bit, which I think has been helpful to them, because there's our kids have a level of anxiety, but I think the parents have an even greater level.
Can you talk, Katie, about what you feel the future of Harvard hockey is, and what you're expecting to see next year as we return to competition?
We ended on we took another step forward in our program last year, getting back to hosting an ECAC quarterfinal playoff series, and heading up to the championship weekend, and so our kids are hungry. They're on the right track, and I think they're probably going to be even hungrier and amidst everything that they had to deal with this past season. We're fortunate that we have all of our seniors are coming back, and we're also fortunate that we're going to have a pretty large freshman class. Because of COVID, we actually are really going to have 2 freshman classes. And so there'll be different challenges, but there's going to be a tremendous amount of competition in our program and a lot of depth in each position. And to me, that bodes for success for the future. So we're looking forward to it, and I know the kids are as well.
Ted, I know you had very high expectations for this past 2021 season and have seen some changes to your roster, but what do you expect moving forward now that we're going to be moving into the 21-22 season for your program?
We'll basically have our freshman class coming in, our freshman class from this year, who really didn't get to practice with the coaches or with the team or play any games. So that's a challenge, but I do believe that we will be young, we'll be talented, and I think as a coaching staff, one, we know how much work needs to be done, so we're anxious, we want to get going. But on the other side of it, there's a certain amount of energy that inexperience and those young guys bring to the rink every day, and that's exciting. Knowing that while we won't have a lot of experience, we'll have a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of talent, and I think we'll have a real opportunity to grow as a team throughout the season. We're excited. We can't wait to get back to Bright Landry. We can't wait to get back to a version of normalcy, if you will, and we can't wait to see everybody in a great Bright Landry weekend with both the men's and women's teams playing, and getting back to that college experience that both the student athletes and our alums really love and appreciate. And I know it seems like a long way away once again, but we're certainly looking forward to it.
We're gonna be fine. We're gonna get back. We're gonna be stronger, and the lessons that we're all learning now are gonna be extremely beneficial to us. And I just can't thank everyone for their support. Our alumni are strong. They're consistently there for us, and so we'll look forward to having everybody back at the Bright Landry.
Well, I really appreciate the conversation. I know our fans and alumni will as well, and we're very thankful to have both of you leading our hockey programs. Katie Stone, the Landry family, head coach for Harvard women's hockey, and Ted Donato, the Robert D. Ziff 88, head coach for Harvard men's hockey. I appreciate your time. We look forward to getting back to some normalcy here at Harvard, and thanks for everything you've done.